Good morning. It's Thursday, April the 9th, isn't it? And today is a special day in the life of the Jewish people because Passover began last night. And as we're talking about the Holy Week, it's just interesting that the Passover occurs as it does right now, probably coinciding with the life of Christ. Remember that the whole week of the Holy Week, Jesus comes in triumphant, and then he goes to the temple, and then during this week he preaches a number of sermon parables, mainly pointing out the flaws of the religious leaders, which really ticked them off. But on the day of Passover, as is still true today in the nation of Israel and for Jews around the world, everything comes to a halt. They concentrate on a family remembrance of when their nation came out of Egypt. And an amazing time. They didn't even have time to let the bread rise, and so that's why they eat the unleavened bread during the time of the Passover, and it is an amazing ceremony. If you don't really understand it or know it, and some of our students, I know Dr. Arsenault and Josh and all those guys took our 10th grade and actually had a Seder meal, which is really a good acquaintance. But here's the Lord Jesus, realizing that he's going to be betrayed a few hours later, gets his disciples together for this amazing Jewish custom. And they go through the whole ceremony together in a somber, serious occasion. The Lord Jesus washes feet, he serves them, and they still don't get it. Now, at this point, they're all together, they're all happy and celebrating, but in just a few hours, I think the saddest part of this week is everybody abandons the Lord Jesus. I mean, all his disciples run and hide. And one of them betrays him that had worked with him all that time. Can you imagine what's going through his mind? He knew it, but still it probably had to hurt. I think one of the deepest wounds to individual is to show utter disrespect for a person and ignore them. And everybody did that to the Lord Jesus this week. He had to face all that was coming all by himself. Well, you know, one of the saddest things we're hearing in our current age that relates to this are the older folks dying of coronavirus. Nobody can come see them. They have to face death all alone. And the news reports make that, and it's true, one of the saddest events of this age in which we live. It would be tough not to be surrounded by your family or your friends, and yet that's exactly what the Lord Jesus went through. And yet he did it because he loved me and he loved you. An amazing time. And today, it started last night at sundown, and today is the beginning of Passover. They probably had the big feast just last night, the Seder meal, and today they will be thinking about it. There's a lot of things we don't know about in Jewish customs and what's happened around the world. My son Nate's done a lot of research on something that happens at Easter at the place where we believe Christ was buried. It's called the Miracle of Holy Fire. I'm going to send you a link by email following this one for devotions. And I'd encourage you to look at the trailer. He's made a little course that you can, if you want to learn something about what this means to Christians around the world. I think it, with his discount, costs $30. But watch the trailer; it's free, and it'll kind of blow your mind. They did a great job putting this thing together. Have a great Thursday, and I'll talk to you tomorrow for the final devotion for this Easter week. Thank you.